Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 4th episode of High Score Girl. And last episode, it was kind of a sad episode because, Akira just left. She got on a plane and just went far, far away and was crying, and it was all sad and very upsetting stuff. But, you know, gotta keep watching the show. There's more episodes. Maybe we'll have more happy moments to help us get over the sad moments, maybe. We'll see. I am curious because High Score Girl just left in episode 3, and yet the show is called High Score Girl, and we still have a bunch more episodes left, so I wonder where we're gonna go from here, so let's find out. 3, 2, 1, play. Starting right off with the opening. I don't remember if that's usual for the show or not. K.O. And just thinking back to that scene from last episode, I'm already starting to get just sad again. That was so heartbreaking. Did not know a show about video game arcades would hit me as hard in the feels as it did last episode. And bump into each other. There you go. Well, that's a face. Champion edition. Yes, Bill Clinton. Is that important? I mean, of course it's important, but is it important to the context of the show? Oh wow, polygons. Virtua Fighter. I think that was a game they played in Bento. Oh no, let's hide. That's a lot of money for one play. I see a skirt, it's a girl. It's a blonde girl from the opening. I think that's Koharu if the MyAnimeLIst page is to be believed. At least that's the only blonde girl I see on the list. But yeah, is she gonna be our replacement high score girl? Don't hurt your back moving the machines. Cool. I see. Yes, kids just throw their coins in there. It's a fair point. You can tell it's cold by the way she's dressed. Generally, people want to play the arcade stuff indoors, most of the time. At least this girl talks, I'm not used to that. I mean, just very little female voice acting in the first 3 episodes. Well, I'm sure Haru could probably help you with that. Well, because he understands the joy of video games, and you just gotta learn that yourself. And wow, it is cold. It's snowing. Degenerate arcade. A little bit harsh. I ain't gonna raise my hand. Oh, you traitor. Is that a good excuse? Just degenerate arcade. I don't know why that was funny. It's like an aura of girls. Like a girl force field. Except instead of being a force field that keeps girls out, it's a force field literally made of girls. Congrats. But there's one more person left in class, so... USA. I bet. Must be great to play video games in class. Yeah, so could you leave? Onegaishimasu. Not a Game Boy, it's a Turbo Express. Get it right, you filthy casual. I'll do that later. Yes. Wow, is it cold? I mean, how much would an umbrella even help in this? I could not imagine what that would be like. Where I live, snow is a very rare thing, so I've never had to experience walking somewhere in snow before. Looks a lot warmer in there. Yeah, but we gotta buy something if we're allowed to be in here, though. Really? I bet. More Street Fighter. Of course. So what's different about Champion Edition? Which is basically just a sequel. Come on, you wanna try it having fun, don't you? Play the game. That's because you're a filthy casual, we already pointed it out. Yes, back to my element. Yes, it's all your fault. Yeah, do you know how to have fun? Well, that sounds boring. What a sad existence. You need to put some video games in that schedule. Maybe some anime. Yes. Come on, first one's free. Take a seat, girl. I'll show you a whole new world. I'll play, you can. No. Well, somebody played Ken. So how do I operate this thing? I just push buttons and wiggle things and whoa, I won. You look tough, probably. Exactly. He does look strong. Of course, it doesn't mean much, it's just, you know, a model. What matters is the stats and stuff. Uh... Yeah, way to make me sad again. Shoryuken! Shoryuken is the best. Round 2, fight! Don't criticize this girl, she's just starting. And boom! And yeah, she is definitely better than you would expect. it's just a game, it's not gonna... that dance. I can see that, that's pretty ridiculous. uh... Do we have to, though? Can we stay? Capcom quality. Phrasing. But now she's learned the glory of video games. The vague hints. Yeah, that's the problem. Again on the phrasing. Because things have developed. You just enter the world of video games, I think. Probably a dream here. All those pixels. You're gonna cut yourself on that pile of pixels there. This is my world. Ow! It's throwing tops at me. Very weird dream. Those fire arrows especially look very unconvincing with the fire. But that's old school graphics for you. Very, you know, faithful to that. Guess we'll see. She woke up. It's a good influence. It will make your life better, I assure you. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh. Cool. Yeah, we're entering the 3D age, you know? That's how it goes, yeah. I will go to all the degenerate places and you can't stop me, teacher. Yeah, well enough. Video games are always a wise investment. Yeah, you know, if you want to do video games. It's nice that she doesn't have to pay to use her own family's machines. Yeah, just go down there. Yeah, well, she's starting to kind of expand her horizon a bit, so. You don't need to live there. Very cold. And yet he's still out there. Yeah, you... Yeah, I mean, do you know what you look like when you're just out there on your knees, mouth open and drooling? That would be really cool, wouldn't it? You'd probably never go to school if you had like a family business with a video game machine. Mm. Yes, that's a takeaway from that. Well, that's easier said than done. Oof. Careful. Game over. Okay. Oh, well, that changes everything. Uh, I must see it for myself. Again with the phrasing. Super Street Fighter 2. This game is for use in Japan only. Ryu is in the opening. Awesome. Oh, Hadouken! He shot right at us. It's very super. That is some serious enthusiasm. Yeah, sorry girl, this takes priority. Maybe see you next time. Well, it's sad for her. Yes, as she said before. I wouldn't forget that line. That's a really high kick. Yeah. Uh, yeah, but those people have no idea what they're talking about. Yes. Well, that's why she's gonna learn with your help. Oh. SOS. Yes. Well, that was rude. Okay. Yes. Well, that's some blushing. You're not the only one. Oh. Christmas presents. Yeah, having our little gift exchange. What's the point of wrapping it if you're just gonna tell him before he opens it? Yeah. That's a fair point as well, though. Debatable. Man, is she blushing a serious amount over there? Yes, you are quite clearly very red. I guess it's just because you're sick, though. I mean, anime characters already catch colds pretty easily as it is, but staying outside in the cold, that probably didn't help at all. Was that a gaming magazine? Couldn't quite tell. But yeah, the first episode didn't have any of Bakira in it. Well, she was sort of in the flashback bit there, but uh, I can't believe how much I miss a silent character that I knew for 3 episodes. Kind of crazy. Because yeah, an ED that already had kind of a sad tone to the song is now significantly sadder because it has a just a character that's gone now in it. I know she technically left last episode, but this episode's when it started to really feel real that she was just not here anymore. So it's very, very sad. I suppose. I know Western games are a bit more of the have more first-person shooters, but I think that genre was much less common back in the age that this took place in. There we go. Had to wait till it actually ended. So that was the 4th episode of High Score Girl. And this was the first episode without our high score girl, without Akira. And it was very, very sad to not have her in the show anymore. And Haru seems to be dealing with it well enough, though. With the exception of the one little bit where he was playing with Koharu and he had a bit of a flashback to having her next to him, so I think that's supposed to imply that he is still thinking about that and misses her, but you know, he's not gonna make a big deal about it or anything because he's cool. He's cool. He's not gonna, you know, cry about it or anything. But yeah, the big thing with this episode was it introduced our new character, Koharu, which I knew would be a big character because she's fairly prominent in the opening, maybe not quite to the level of Akira, but you know, she definitely is there a lot and making googly eyes at Haru and all that, so you know, you knew she would come into play at some point. And her thing is that she's kind of a boring girl, you know. When Haru asked her about her, you know, schedule and all that, she's like, yeah, well, I go home, I watch whatever, you know, and I help around the shop and I study and design. Yeah, it's about what I do. But she needs to learn about the greatness of video games, and this is a good time for it because Haru no longer has anybody else to hang out with, and the arcade games are now being set up at her family shop outside. Which at first it didn't click in my head that that was her family shop. I just thought she was talking to some you know old guy that she was acquainted with. But yeah, I got that not too long after that. But yeah, basically she now wants to be involved with Haru, and they're kind of starting to make a bit of a connection. You know, she's starting to see how much he loves video games, how passionate he is about it, and she actually played video games with him. You know, she played Street Fighter, and she did very well for a beginner. You know, just beating him up, even if she got a little bit scared. But you know, we're working with her. She's getting into it. And yeah, even though she says she prefers to watch from behind, I think we are gonna transition to her being more, you know, playing them more herself. She can be the second generation of high scorer girl. You know, that'd be something. And that's a big thing right there. Is with our previous main girl, she was obviously better than Haru. You know, she like was really good at video games. And now with you know Koharu, she's like the exact opposite. So we get to see that different dynamic. You know how Haru react. You know interacts with somebody. These opposites. So you know that's pretty cool. And Koharu herself is a very you know she's very cute, likable. I enjoy her as a character, all the blushing. Uh, but yeah, and she talks, which is something that Akira also didn't do. So I guess that's also kind of part of the whole being opposite thing. She talks. She's had a lot more lines than Akira did. So, but but yeah, she's definitely coming out of her shell a little bit. Like going like they made a big deal about her even wanting to go to the Christmas party. Like she wouldn't even do that normally. So yeah, definitely she didn't end up doing that, of course. But the point is she's you know doing things differently now, trying to change a bit. And video games is a great thing to change to do. But yeah, just the teacher does not seem to be a big fan of video games, just calling the arcade the degenerate arcade, which is pretty funny. But but you know, I think video games did have a bit more of a stigma back then than they do nowadays. They were much, you know, because I know back in the day, video games were very much seen as like a nerd thing. You know, at least in my country, I don't know how different it was in Japan, but it used to be just sort of a thing that nerds did, and then eventually it became a thing like what everyone does. You know, once video games became a very big marketplace and businesses understood they can make a lot of money during this, they pushed it more and more to more normies, and it became just a regular thing. Like, you know, your average Joe that's you know fairly young will probably at least play some video games. Like it became a normal thing, but it wasn't always the case. And think maybe that was part of what the whole degenerate comment there was about. You know how that's still looked down a little bit at that point, but I still got a kick out of it anyway. I don't know why. It was funny, but yeah. I don't know how much I really had to say on this episode beyond that. We had some very cute interactions between Koharu and Haru there. You know, especially with the Christmas present, and she was blushing a lot, but I guess it just because she was getting sick, standing out there in the cold all night. You know, which yeah, that would do it. That would definitely do it. And since her family business has arcade machines, there's now a reason for Haruo to go over there, so they have a reason to hang out more. So it's great. Definitely things have a chance to progress with their relationship, so, you know. He may have lost Akira, but now he has a new girl to get to know, so, you know, it's cool. He's no replacement for Akira, though. I still miss Akira quite a bit, but at least we got somebody. Somebody that's pretty good to have. I just love how excited he got when the old guy put in the new machine and he just saw the opening with Ryu. That was some serious excitement and enthusiasm, man. That was great to see. It was cool though, like just Ryu looked like he was just ready for a fight, and then he just Hadouken the screen. That was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. His reaction was still a little bit over the top, but it was pretty cool. And she enjoys seeing the enthusiasm. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about the episode. Hopefully this girl doesn't run away on a plane in 2 episodes. Hopefully she actually sticks around. That's something that I hope for. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.